Afghanistan has already faded from newspaper headlines and policy debates at most think tanks. But Afghanistan has not gone away. Afghanistan's problems have not gone away. In fact, the country faces a humanitarian catastrophe, with millions of people threatened by hunger and famine. But whether we like it or not, we will have to engage with the Taliban, even though that means perhaps not extending political international diplomatic recognition. So can EU policymakers develop and implement an effective strategic autonomy discussion about Afghanistan? Here at BIC, we are talking about Afghanistan and the situation the country is in today.
People ask me whether Taliban are going to show that they are becoming moderate, warm, and fuzzy towards international community. And my response usually is that I'm afraid that it would happen the other way around, because there is not a lot of appetite to intervene or do something about it. But at the same time, for the international community, probably it seems they are heading to the direction just to keep them at bay, to the extent that it does not contribute to any kind of political unrest in their own capitals. I'll stop there.
Because I think a very important topic is security. And obviously you have tens of thousands of Afghans who live in fear at the moment. And some of them are being actively hunted down by the Taliban, journalists, former prosecutors, activists. But you also have many Afghans who are very happy with the Taliban now in power and say, now that the war is over, peace is back. The question is, yes, they are in charge, but are they capable of being in charge? Are they capable of successfully transitioning from insurgency to governance? And obviously they were already running parts of the countries before August 15, but this is obviously much more different, much more challenging.
We have to look at Afghanistan for what it is, and not what we think it could be. And we need reality test and we need reality check on the ground. I mean, what has happened in the EU during the weeks following the fall of Kabul is shameful. It's shameful. We've had 3 or 4 heads of states or government going to microphones and saying, not one single Afghan on my territory. In what a world do we live today? In what a world do we live today?
The element of inclusivity of a future government in Afghanistan is important. But just having the Taliban in power, and with that meaning their political grouping, because they say we are inclusive, we have a Taliban Uzbek, we have a Taliban Tajik, we have and so on, but that's not enough. Countries in the region, China, Russia, EU, US, we all want the same thing. Inclusive government, anti-terrorism, participation of women and girls in education and work. The weight everybody attaches to a number of these elements is different, of course, but by and large, and certainly on inclusivity and anti-terrorism, we're all on the same line. I don't think this has ever happened in the history.
That kind of a security or definition of security, that if there's no suicide attack, if there's no bombing, that's security. No. People need food. People need medicine. People need freedom to get out and talk. People need human security, that they can feed their children today and then they have food for tomorrow. And that is not there, unfortunately. But I have to say, I'm critical of the international community also. They say inclusive government, anti-terrorism, and then human rights. I think human rights should be the first agenda. When they respect the human rights, then we reduce a lot of other problems in the country.